All right, it's 3:29 on March the 3rd, Tuesday. We just broke for a 20-minute recess. I wanted to record our thoughts. I'm here with Brother Gerald Barnes and myself and another brother, and they brought in a parade of witnesses. They started off with this IRS Special Agent Charles or Chuck Evans. I can't remember his specific name, but it's either Charles or Chuck Evans, IRS Special Agent. What I gather is they give him like special orders to go off and collect forfeitures. Like if there's a judgment against somebody, it's his job to say, hey, I've got to go sell the property and recover the judgment that's been issued against somebody. He doesn't really care if you're innocent or not. It's just his job to collect the judgment. So it's not a parade of witnesses, it's more of a parade of horribles.
It's like a term, you know?
Yeah, it's a parade of horribles.
When you just throw everything but the to get someone.
They're throwing everything they can at Paul Hansen and Ken Hovind, and they're seeing what will stick. And it's kind of ridiculous. They're flying these girls in. One of them was named Miss Alcabia. I didn't quite catch her exact name, but she was a Hispanic lady. They brought in Heather Mahoney. They brought in Miss Laura Davis and Miss High or Miss Hiles. I didn't quite catch it. Was it Miss High? Okay, and basically they put up these notary documents that they helped notarize, and they ask these very questions. It's just self-obvious, right? Like Miss Mahoney is that your signature? And she'll say, yes, ma'am. And they'll say, is that Paul Hansen's signature? Did he sign this document in front of you? And they'll say, yes, ma'am. And they'll say, okay, I don't have any more questions. It's like, what? It's like this lady was flown in from another state and you paid for her travel and her arrangements to say that this notarized document was notarized by her when it's a legal document. It's self-evident, right? And all of this was confirmed in a phone conversation over the phone. So why did you have to fly her in and testify? It's basically a parade of horribles to make it look like they have this mountain of evidence when they don't have anything. It's just, I don't even think Paul Hansen would have even disputed that it was his signature. So let me say, the defense counsel basically got up and said, who paid for your trip here? And then the witness, whether it be Miss Mahoney or Laura Davis or Miss High or Miss Alcabia, if I'm pronouncing her name right, said, well, Tiffany Hope Egger's office paid for my trip. And so it's obvious they don't care about the IRS recovering money for the United States government because they're spending tremendous amount of money. I heard they spent over $300,000 to $350,000 in prosecuting Paul Hansen and Dr. Hovind. It's not about recovering money for the government. They're going to lose way more money than they're ever recovering. It's not about recovering money for the government. They're acting like, oh, we're acting in the best interest of the government. They're spending tons and tons of money. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that the prosecution is paying for all these witnesses to come from out of state just to basically say, yeah, I notarized that document. It's the most silliest, craziest thing I've ever heard of. They're snowballing because they don't have any real evidence, and they're just making all of this. Is
that the best they got?
Yeah, is that the best they got? It's just crazy. It's like a charade, a big farce. And what Dr. Hovind says when he was I think it was a 5th grade science teacher, if I'm not mistaken. He basically said when a student didn't have any good answers, they would just get up and just, what's the word? Just give a lot of hot air and just talk and not really say anything. And that's what we're seeing the prosecution do. And I guess that's all I got for now. We got to be back. They gave us a 20-minute recess, and I pretty much used that up. So we want to get back and not miss anything. But that's the update for mid-afternoon, and I'll give you an update. As we get to the end of the day, please keep Ken Hovind in your prayer. God can work a mighty miracle, and they are trying to snowball this jury. Let me also say, I did see some jury members sleeping, right? And so think about that. This man is had 8 years in prison. He's potentially going to spend the rest of his life in prison, and the people that will be deciding whether he goes to prison or not are over there sleeping. Now, I'm not saying that it's just the evidence is so boring and it's so stupid that it would put anybody to sleep. So I'm not really blaming the jury, but it would put me to sleep too. So just think about the significance of what I just said, and keep Ken Hovind in your prayers. God bless every one of you, and keep Paul Hansen in your prayers and pray for their families.